welcome back to the channel for another recap video. Today was it was beautiful, man. It was had to be patient, but patience pays the bills, man. You guys know that with trading, you gotta be there's moments you gotta be ready to go, but there's moments that you just gotta be patient and let everything play out. And today was one of those days where we didn't let any of this movement trip us up or make us chase or anything like that. It was just it was a beautiful trade, man. What can I say? Let me put the executions on here for you guys. Actually, I gotta sign in real quick. I gotta sign in. Matter of fact, nah, I'm gonna just overlay. I'm gonna just overlay the actual trade on the screen so you guys can see it. Where is it? Where is it? Damn, where is it at? Here we go. So here's the trade. This is the screenshot. We took the inversion down here and we wrote it up to first presented. But let's get into the actual nitty gritty of why this trade was taken, right? So coming into the day, I kind of anticipated London high to be run and probably a push towards all-time highs just because it's a Friday before the holiday. So I was like, you know what, let's see, maybe we get that. We had this inversion here. So once I see that we open and we kind of rally up, we have this inversion here, but I really want to see what first presented does on days like this. So first presented takes us all the way up to London high. We create this big wick where when we're here, I wanted to see a closure like a little bit below here, and I probably would have went short targeting first presented. I was looking at something maybe like this, right? Targeting the swing low inside of first presented, but we obviously didn't get that. It was just a heavy sell-off and then a big retracement into this inversion again, and we're respecting the midpoint. But I didn't like it because even though we traded aggressively down, we immediately bounced back up, and at this point I was like, we could either inverse this gap here and continue higher and then possibly run this high and all-time highs, or we respect this. So it was too 50-50 for me to want to put risk on. So eventually we did come back down here. We swept that low. So once we're here, I'm like, there's really not much that I like at this point until I see that we sweep these equal lows into the 50% of the opening range gap, right? So if you go to regular trading hours, we have the close yesterday and then the open today. 50% of that is what we tapped into, right? So if we go back to electronic trading hours, at this point, once we see this sweep, I was like, okay, if we get a nice V shape and a fair value gap, I'm going long. But obviously we didn't get that. It was just more of a up and down, right? Once this candle swept this low and we take out a little bit more sell side and we have this aggressive push up, I'm like, okay, I want to see if we close back above this inversion here, and if we do, I'm in there, right? So next candle, we close above, I go long, and it's pretty fundamental stuff, man. I'm going long here. I'm trying to catch this swing high, and it just ends up working out beautifully. So it's one of those days where we waited almost an hour to take a trade, and usually I'm usually done by this time, but I'm glad I didn't let myself get tripped up with this. I ended up getting stopped in profit for like 55 points because I think I've said before, when I'm 50 points in profit, I have no problem trailing my stop loss right to that or getting out there. Depends on what price is showing me, right? So this one was a pretty good trade. We only had like, so this candle opened at 532 and the low was 525. So like 7 points of drawdown. The rest we just went straight up, but I just didn't want to play any games today, so we ended up going all the way back up to the consequent encroachment of this wick, which is where we pretty much are still at now, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, it was just one of those days where you had to do your part and be patient and not let all of this give you FOMO or trip you up or anything like that. This would have been a long that I wouldn't have taken anyway, because we come all the way up, we inverse this, we stop here, and this is just not really my style. It's too early in the day. So I did get the trade that I was looking for, and it ended up being a great way to close the week. So now it's just we journal this and we come back. Well, Monday I'm not trading because it's a bank holiday. We come back Tuesday and see what next week brings. So if you caught the trade, great. If you didn't, great. Just journal it, learn from it, and move on. You can't really do anything else. And now that I'm looking at it, there was another potential entry here because this tap isn't really much for a liquidity sweep. So probably could have went long here and targeted these highs. Just would have had to sit through a little bit of painful chop. So yeah, man, that's the day, and I'll see you guys next week, man.